Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the NFT morning. Today is actually April 24th, and we are live for the episode number 860 of the NFT morning. This is John talking right now. My dear partner and friend Rem is not here this morning, and yeah, maybe because it's in English. No, sorry, I'm kidding, Rem, if you're listening to that. But as you can hear, yeah, this morning we're in English because we have super special guests that I'm super happy and excited, to have with us. We have the chance, to have Lynn and Anna from Rarible. Hi, Anna. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Super excited to have you. Rarible, I mentioned that, but okay, we start from, we started. Rarible is maybe one of my first love in the NFT world. It's basically it was the moment where I believe you had only super rare for artists, for example, to mint artwork, and it was extremely curated. And then Rarible popped up with was kind of a space of freedom where anyone was able to mint whatever he wanted. So it was, kind of a Alibaba cavern, for the best and for the worst sometime. And yeah, basically, it's really, really something. It was a huge space of freedom. Big artists like Xcopy actually started also to mint stuff on Rarible. A lot of things happened on the platform. And even for people who are following, the NFT morning, we started our journey also with my dear friend Remy with this book NFT Revolution. So we prepare some stuff before, but now I go live and I say a lot of stuff. So we launched our book via Rarible, and we'll talk a bit more about it, if we have time. But it was kind of a pre real world assets business, I would say, because it was in 2021, and basically you had to collect the NFT and to be able to redeem the book, basically. And so yeah, so I'm super excited, and moreover, Anna, so you are in charge of business development at Rarible. So maybe you can just explain, what does it mean, to be a business developer at Rarible.
Sure, thanks, John. Super exciting for us to be here with my colleague Lean, who is the VP of product as well. BD, I'm really B2B, so we've really gone from an art marketplace originally all the way to a really resilient B2B infrastructure company. And I work with a lot of new chains, new games. At bringing them to market. So that's the bulk of what I do. I get to do a lot of networking and meet cool people like you guys, go to different events and hear about a lot of very cool projects and help them go to market. So it's a great gig.
Amazing. Now, thank you, Anna. And so you mentioned also that Lynn is head of product at Rarible. I think Lynn, you've been working in the company for a few years now, if I'm not wrong.
2.5 years. It feels like seven, if not 10. I think great years incoming, Web3, lots of ups and downs. But it's been a very fun journey. On the product side, I think we evolved a lot as a marketplace and we've thought about a lot of fun new products. We built things differently. So it's been a very fun journey.
Awesome. Maybe, for people, maybe you could explain us, Lynn, actually, what are the key, because, I mentioned that Rarible was a reference, I would say, a way to mint easily NFTs in 2020, 2021. What happened, since 2021? What have been the Rarible journey, basically?
Yeah, great question, John. So Rarible, I think whenever I talk to someone about Rarible, usually they tell me, "Oh, I minted my first NFT on Rarible," and then they show me their phone with a picture of their cute dog or their cute maybe kid in the backyard, and they show me their first NFT they minted. And like you said, John, I think the beauty of Rarible back in the day, especially in the 2021 era, was it allowed anyone with an idea to quickly mint with no gas with a couple buttons. So people were minting everything they loved and bringing these ideas and assets on chain. So this was very fun in 2021. Well, from day one, we've been very artist-centric. The market did evolve a bit in terms of PFPs, the traders, OpenSea came in the playground, the blurs, the tensors. And it was interesting for us because we looked at the market and we took it from a different angle. I think behind the scenes, what we did at the time was we realized a lot of the creators and brands we were working with, they wanted to have their own storefront or their own marketplace experience. So think about the Shopify versus Amazon model is the direction we took. And we have something I always think about. It's our superpower that we have in-house APIs and indexers. So for us, it was very easy to rebuild or kind of leverage our infra to rebuild custom marketplaces and go the vertical route. So that was a fun journey we took in 2022. I would say we pivoted a bit. We built a couple fun marketplaces at the time. One was Mattel, so I'm not sure if you folks heard of the cute Hot Wheels series back in the day. I'm gonna share my screen. Here we go. It's this one, yes. So when we were kids, we were collecting these super cute Hot Wheel cars. We ended up chatting with Mattel on these super cute Hot Wheels cars, made it on chain. So to sell these on-chain Hot Wheel cars, we needed to build their own custom storefront. So this was a very fun use case we had, and we shipped this very simple marketplace. Simple, I mean from a product experience or user journey, because when you're onboarding users to the space, you really want to make sure that the marketplace is simple. There's on-ramps, credit card, users are able to onboard with it. So this is built on Flow, but I like to think that most of the crypto or blockchain is behind the scenes. So this was one.
So you started, okay, so it's one use case. So basically a big brand like Mattel, when they've been going to the NFT market, yeah, it's one example, you provided them a kind of end-to-end marketplace for their own,
Exactly.
for their own client, for their own ecosystem, and really for another blockchain also that was Flow. And I believe, working on this other blockchain also has been bringing you to work with a lot of different protocols, actually, right?
Yeah, for sure. Anna, you wanted to jump in?
Yeah, sure. We've been able to work with lots of different protocols, mostly because we've become this infrastructure and marketplace to help new chains go to market. So there's kind of like now a go-to-market playbook. And that's what I get to do in my position at Rarible, is help these new chains and games go to market. And I'll explain how. But first, I'll just say that there are certain marketplaces that really have held on to market share for, say, certain chains, for example. Well, we really try to find the best different little projects and do a multi-chain, experience. So we're finding the different chains, different L2s, for example. Instead of just focusing on one, like Solana, we're doing a whole bunch. And so we've been able to really find some cool stuff and help them go to market by integrating to our API SDK, and then also doing drops on .com curated with, sometimes they can collaborate with an artist that's well known on Rarible. And usually these drops might have a utility, say for their game, like a membership, or for DeFi, it could be higher yield into their DeFi products, just as an example. And with all of our co-marketing and help from our really degen ecosystem team, they're able to do so many mints and really get out there in terms of reach of all, 7 years of Rarible.
Okay, so my understanding is that what you're talking about is you have kind of a big toolbox, mixing the technical part that you mentioned, and in the technical part, you have basically, I would say, kind of the base that is usable, that is a marketplace. But basically, depending on the positioning of the blockchain, of course, because not everybody is into NFT business, but so it could be a full utility marketplace where people, as you mentioned, for DeFi can use NFTs to increase the score for stacking purposes, for any kind of thing like this. So really focus on the utility platform. For some of them, it could be just an NFT back. So depending on what they want, they can pick up basically whatever they want technically in your toolbox. And on the other hand, you are still, and you have a pretty strong, I would say, visibility, marketing power on the final client also. So you can basically play on two boards as a Rarible partners, right? So on one hand, they're on platform, but on the other hand, also getting showcased and being on the home and being visible and getting pushed by the Rarible.com website, right?
Yeah, so we're leveraging the infrastructure for like a white label marketplace. Like we just did Bearable.io for Bearchain, which has been like a huge success. We're really proud of it. We've also launched Eclipse on Scope. I mean, their go-to-market with this playbook, I think they did 1.2 million in 40 minutes mint revenue. So that was a great little.
What? How much?
1.2 million.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it works. It's a great little liquidity grab for chains that are coming on, going to market. So that, and we're leveraging our art marketplace really to get these brands out there.
I see. So okay. So got the story. So it became basically, actually, it's a very smart move, just because we need to throw back about the space. The space is very focused on hype, I would say. A lot of people are young entrepreneurs in the space with the idea of getting visibility, getting hype, launching a token, and then things are becoming more complicated. So I think actually Rarible also had this own token, and the Rari, I remember, I think it was even before all this Blur drama and before all these other platforms like I don't remember all their names, who's been playing and doing farming. You had this episode pretty early, and I think you learned from that also, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think we were super early on a lot of things, including the token. We had a meme coin before all the meme coins roll around. But yeah, for sure. And I think from an artist perspective as well, what I find quite interesting is the way we've evolved in terms of products, but the sentiment has still been the same, where we're building tools to support a lot of the artists. So the Scope marketplace Anna was talking about, it's a marketplace, but it's also a launch pad. And we've seen a lot of artists drop and have very successful mints and drops through their Scope experience. So it's very interesting to see how, even with the evolution of the products, we've still supported the community and artists through different ways.
That's interesting. So, and I understand. So, but I think it's also a smart move, to this positioning and this way, you've been working to diversify basically sources of income, because when you work, you mentioned that, I like, Anna, that it's a resilient, B2B is a resilient business. It means that even with few clients, you can make, you can develop your company basically.
Yeah, well, we're resilient too because we've lasted through all the highs and lows of the market and all the different changes of regulation. So over the past 7 years, we've managed to evolve with the market, and it just goes to show that marketplaces matter and best-in-class infrastructure matters. So when companies who, really want to mitigate risk and have a marketplace are able to depend on Rarible, the lights are not going to go off. We're well-funded company and well-run. So that's what I think people are relying on, and one of the reasons why we're resilient.
No, I see. And so, and that's super exciting. You mentioned Scope Lean. Actually, Eclipse also is, a lot of new layers, new technology that's pretty trendy. So, if I understand well, this Scope marketplace, for example, is a mix between artists, basically NFTs, and also a launchpad a launchpad launching new NFT project, right?
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. And this is on Eclipse, which is a very nice SVM between Solana and Ethereum. So yeah, you see a lot of cool art pieces. I've personally collected a lot of fun open editions here, PFPs. And it's very interesting from a chain perspective as well, because whenever you're launching a new chain, like Anna said, you want to kick off your ecosystem and you want to kick off your NFTs. So having a marketplace that's very native or launchpad to your chain is quite interesting to see from a user adoption as well. So this is Scope. It has primary, secondary, a very nice launchpad, one-of-one art, open editions, PFPs. And we're launching something fun with them today as well. So there's going to be some alpha here, but we have a fun deploy coming up. So the second iteration of Scope is going to be coming live very soon. So this is very early alpha, but we'll see this roll out in a couple hours.
Okay. And yeah, I think I see also a question from Drip Dragons. In what way do you support artists? I'm looking for a launchpad. Actually, we just mentioned, that I think Scope, so this platform on Eclipse, have an artist launchpad. So I believe for this one, Rarible is more on the technical side, I believe, and not really on the curational side. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I believe from this platform directly, you can try to be in touch with the Scope team to be part of a launchpad, I believe. But tell me if I'm wrong, Anna.
No, absolutely. You're correct. So there's lots of different launch pads out there, and I will reach out on X and get in touch for sure and follow up.
Awesome. And so yeah, okay. I understand, but actually it's interesting because you've been acquiring also thanks to that lot of expertise. One, technically be able to work on any layer, if I understand well, because Eclipse is a kind of a new blockchain hybrid between Solana and Ethereum. You mentioned, Bera chain, that is basically a new layer one. You mentioned Flow. Basically, my understanding is that you have this expertise that you can port to any kind of layer. You have, of course, the expertise. You have all these building blocks, I would say, that you can bring from a launchpad to a utility. And I believe also that part of the trendy topic now, Anna, are real world assets, right?
Yes, that's right. So as you know, we're marketplace infrastructure. So that, of course, means we're a token marketplace infrastructure. So real world assets, RWAs, can be tokens, NFT tokens. So 1155 can be fractionalized. It can be a security. Anything, if you build a different token on 1155, that will work as well. You can also, of course, 721. But if you're tokenizing assets, we are a great partner for distribution. We're that distribution infrastructure you need to be able to buy and sell your real world assets. So that's where we come into the market, and a kind of sweet spot there is like a reliable, experienced partner in marketplace.
Okay, so people who are building no real world asset businesses, basically you can provide them a kind of all-in-one solution to get their token, that get a fraction potentially depending on their model, or get a full asset and get it, trade it, have a second-hand market, and potentially then redeem it or burn it or whatever you do, to get the asset, the underlying asset, right?
Exactly, that's right. So, from a B2B perspective, tokenization companies, for example, could have a marketplace per client. So if I'm a big real estate company and I want to tokenize through company A, well, maybe company A will also have a value add of providing me with my own custom, themed marketplace that's totally branded, for example. Or they may have just one marketplace where all the RWAs from different companies might live for. This is just one of the few ways it could work.
I see. I see. So yeah, it's one of your focus. So you start talking about different use cases, and yeah, I strongly believe also into this topic because now we can see a lot of real businesses into real world assets that can
Yeah.
be. So yeah, okay, that's pretty cool. And so so yeah, I understand, this part of Rarible. So basically, I mentioned the toolbox, but you have much more than that. So basically, any kind of business who need like expertise and even a all-in-one solution, they can work with you, and you have like, yeah, I would say more than 4 years of experience into this B2B business. And on the other hand, for artists, for, I would say, collectors, for DJs, are you still working on I would say, the customer side, Lynn?
Yeah, I'll take this one. Yes, we are. So we just recently launched something very fun. It's called Wearable.fun. So this is our new take on our B2C experience. I'm gonna share it here. Oh, here we go. Um, and the way we were thinking of building this platform, we wanted to build something super fast, less clicks, very fun to use. We wanted to bring the fun element of NFTs again. So what you're seeing on the screen is our debut for Wearable.fun. It's still in beta. We're building this for the community with the community. We have a popping TG chat with user feedback, thoughts, ideas. So we have very open roadmap here. And we launched it on Mega ETH testnet last week. And we almost hit I think we hit more than 5 million mints so far, which is bananas. And we're so excited for it. But we have this running open edition right now. And we're at 5.8 million mints, which is insane. So we're super
What?
excited. I know,
5.8 million?
insane.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So yeah, I have to try this. Well,
Grab one, John. You need to grab one.
just to, can you just explain for people? I think Mega ETH is a pretty trendy also protocol. For people uh, who don't know Mega ETH, can you just explain quickly what it is and what they're doing and why you've been doing this together?
Yeah, for sure. So for us, when we were thinking of which chain to launch this new product with, so this product's going to evolve to being multi-chain. But the first chain we thought we wanted this product to be super fast, and we were thinking about chains on the market. Mega ETH is, I'd say, the fastest chain on the market at a mega speed. Rabbit speed is, I think, their headline. So to us, we wanted to build on a chain that's super fast and build super fast infrastructure and a super fast UI. I think I always compare it to, when you guys use your Web2 apps, the buttons, everything is so fast. Within 2 clicks, you have a car picking you up that knows where you want to go. Uber has my credit card, knows where I want to go. 2 clicks, and I don't need to click a bazillion buttons, wait for things to load. So that was kind of the thought process behind it: is how can we have a super fun, quick experience? And Mega ETH for us, from an infra perspective and a chain perspective, had the speed for the platform.
I see. So Mega ETH also basically a second an Ethereum layer 2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But super fast. Okay, cool. And so basically, so this platform, Rarible.fun, so far is supporting this layer. But so your vision is to have a kind of a multi-layer, multi-chain NFT platform.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. So it's real. Yeah, it's a big comeback in a way.
It is. It is. We've been cooking a lot behind the scenes. I think Wearable.fun, I would say, was our debut. We have a couple fun tools we're cooking also behind the scenes that will be part of the, say, Wearable comeback this year that we're excited to debut.
Wow. Okay. So it's really like yeah, it's really yeah, I was not. I didn't realize. It's a big stuff. It's in the landscape. So actually, this year. So this year, beside the OpenSea V2 that is coming, we have kind of a big Rarible V2 in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a way, yes. And it's been really fun for us to debut parts of what we've been building with .fun. I think a big part of where the market is evolving, we've doubled down on the B2B side, and now we're doubling down as well on the B2C side. And this will kind of enhance our toolkit. Like Anna was saying, we have a lot of different toolkits, and we can support in terms of infra, GTM, B2B, and now the B2C side. So it's interesting how the Rarible ecosystem we're trying to make sure is able to support the, I'd say, community from end to end.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So Mega is now. So what can we could expect in the future that on the same domain name, so we could get more blockchain, right?
Yeah,
So
well,
what
there's
can,
lots in the pipeline. I mean, whoever says NFTs are dead has never worked at Rarible. We are like, I mean, delivery time is only ever delayed just because we have so many projects, really. And we have some really cool new non-EVM L1s that maybe DeFi focus, for example, that are really trying to go to market with their first NFT ecosystem with us, for example. So that speaks to all the activity we're able to kind of push and the marketplace, the people we have on there. So we also have lots of gaming companies coming on that are Ethereum L2s. So I can't really release any new names, but there'll definitely be announcements online very shortly.
wow. Okay. So, I can see like a lot of ways that are crossing. I understand also now this vision of Rarible.fun, basically, exactly materializing the fact that you're working with a lot of, your B2B expertise have been bringing you also to realize, to understand a bit more where there is potential on the NFT market. And my understanding is, not art only, even if art is important, but all kind of utility. You mentioned DeFi a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, I believe for me, I love this art side of our business. I mean, ultimately, NFTs are as good as their utility sometimes beyond art. And I think that utility is where all the value lays. And I think that people are starting to understand that. And so that's when drops really become successful, is when there's a utility for the specific chain, like the DeFi higher yield, for example. And then that white label marketplace where all these things can live. I mean, I think that NFTs are really going to power the internet and all of commerce shortly. So we're going to be here for that. And like, we're really headed in that direction with these new chains. And
I love that, because when I wrote my book, actually, there was a part about Rarible, and we mentioned Rarible as kind of the eBay for NFTs. Actually, we have a French version of eBay that is a bit like where you can find anything on any topic. And I can see this kind of vision also where, you mentioned it could be a real world asset, gaming, DeFi, art, of course. So, crossing the ways on different mix of utilities and memes and whatever. And now I can see kind of a convergence on this Rarible.fun. So that's pretty interesting. We have a lot of questions actually about layer supports. We'll take one because Drip Dragon asked this several times. But do you support abstract? If I understand well, tell me if I'm wrong, but you can support anything, but then the question is more, I would say the roadmap is pretty focused also on the partners you are working with, right?
Yeah, well, chains would need to integrate with us into our API SDK. So we do have a list of over 20 chains that we're already integrated in, and that's what our engineering team is working on, new integrations. And that's what I do, is help bring those chains on. So we do work with most people, and it's continuing to grow, I would say.
Yeah. So basically, but you need to have a kind of a business relation with abstract, or I can see question about Tezos, for example. You need to work together to make it happen, right? It's not something you will decide just
Oh, no.
unilaterally. It's something where you need to have business agreement with them, and I can say, it's kind of a mix where B2B is driving B2C and bringing back to B2B, right?
Yes, well, they would have, it would be part of our business model and a commercial agreement where we would integrate them into our API and SDK. Yeah.
I see.
I'm gonna just quickly jump as well for Drip Dragons. Hi, I was trying to reply to the comment. I'm not figuring out how to join the chat. Ignore me, but we do have abstract supported on Rarible.com right now. So if you're interested and you want to drop with us on the Rarible.com launchpad, we do have abstract support. So I think
on the Rarible.com.
Yep, we do.
Okay, cool. So does it mean, okay, cool, that's interesting. So people who want to release a collection on abstract, like, and could be part of your launchpad on Rarible.com. Okay, wow. Okay, it's huge. Okay, so I'm very excited about this Rarible.fun also convergence, and this I can see that it's super active. Just to realize now what is Rarible today, maybe Linear can give us just more, the big picture, because I remember, the company started like in East Europa, but now you are super global. Just maybe you have some figures about how many people are working there, and how it is working right now, basically.
Yeah, sounds good. The company did start in Eastern Europe. Now we are around the world. You'll find someone GMing on Slack at any time during the day. It's actually quite cute. I love it. We have our main hubs are between New York and Lisbon. So Anna and I are calling from Lisbon, GM, right now.
Lisbon, yeah, come on. Sorry.
We're waiting for you, John. We're waiting
for Lisbon right now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Wait, are you in France, by the way?
No, I am in Lisbon right now.
Okay, look at us, Lisbon crew. Good morning. We're around 50 people, I would say. In terms of what we're focused on, I think we see it, Rarible we're supporting the NFT ecosystems across. So from the infra layer to the marketplace, to the B2B side, to our custom marketplaces, it's quite cool to see the 360 approach we're trying to take. I think if we look at the space right now, we're seeing a lot of folks are moving out of the NFT world because of the market, what's going on. We're hearing it a lot in the news. There's pivots, refocus on different, maybe different areas, but we're doubling down on NFTs, collectibles. I think like Anna said, we truly believe the future of the world, almost everything will be on, like, it's going to be an NFT, or it's going to be some sort of a digital collectible. From, like, we're seeing it with Rimowa, we're seeing it with Todd's shoes, to maybe government IDs, and I think we're setting ourselves up to support it from an infra and a front end standpoint. So we're ready to support. We're doubling down on NFTs, on the community, the ecosystem. We want to keep pushing and building. I think we've survived a couple bear markets, and we're going to keep pushing and building, and we're going to be supporting the community.
Okay, that's okay, I understand now the transformation and the development of the company. We still have also a lot of, actually we have a lot of questions, just maybe one clarification. I see, Drip Dragons asking the difference between Rarible and Rarible.fun for artists.
Sounds good. Great question, Drip Dragon. Rarible.com right now, it's our flagship multi-chain experience. You'll notice from an artist perspective, you'll have a multi-chain launchpad. I think, like Anna mentioned, we're supporting 20 plus chains on it. It has a bit of different functionalities than Rarible.fun. Rarible.fun right now is on testnet. It's on Mega ETH only. It's in beta. You're able to drop as an artist with us on .fun, but it's going to be on the testnet version right now. So we have an awesome ecosystem team, and they'll be able to help in terms of navigating which could be the better fit in terms of what you're looking to achieve and your art and the community you want to tap into. So this is, I'd say, the biggest difference from an artist.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Lynn. So you mentioned, Rarible.fun is a new engine
Yeah.
because you're head of product, so you can also, yeah, basically. So Rarible.com is kind of the legacy, I would say, platform. Rarible.com is a new engine, the new. So you mentioned, much more faster, and this is why also working with Mega is, I think, makes sense, because there's, as you mentioned,
Mhm.
it's one of the faster blockchain also. Uh, so it's maybe in the future, Rarible.com Tech could take over Rarible.com.
Totally. I think you're onto something, John. So behind the scenes a bit when we were building Wearable.fun, we restarted building the code. So we restarted from the first line of code and we rebuilt the code. So Wearable.com has been running for a couple of years. I think it's been running since 2019. Wearable.fun, it's a new code base, much faster code base, new APIs, the infra is much lighter, I would say. So this is what you'd notice from the speed of it. I think the other thing from a product side, Wearable.com is a lot more feature rich in terms of the features you have. Wearable.fun is very simple right now. Couple clicks to purchase. We focused on the main core user journeys and user flows you want to explore, buy, mint, sell. How can we do it as fast as we can in 1 or 2 clicks? And you'll notice that on the product. It's quite, I enjoy using it. It's quite, it's a much simpler experience.
I see. I see. Okay, cool. And one more question. It's very, of course, now we have a lot of people, with different blockchains, different support. So it's Redis that asking if Bitcoin ordinals is on the roadmap. I don't know if you've been investigating already this part of the blockchain.
Or
Well, we'd love to. We'd love to start a conversation and look into it. Like, we're on board to take on these kind of new projects. So I don't know if it's in the pipeline right now, but I'm certainly interested. So
Amazing.
and I will follow up with them.
Okay, cool. Okay, time is running actually, and I realize that okay, I think we have the big picture and we have a pretty precise picture actually about Rarible, but we forgot to mention Lisbon, and that's important for me. NFC that is coming up, and so I believe, yeah, you will have also an important presence at the NFC Summit, in Lisbon on June 4th to 6th. Yeah, sorry guys. This week I've been talking about Lisbon every day and NFC every day, but it's on top of my mind right now. So yeah, no. Can you give us maybe a sneak peek? I know that also Vandalo is part of the team, and he was in a Twitter space with us 2 days ago, more on the NFC side actually. But maybe you can give us a sneak peek about what's Rarible is cooking for NFC. Maybe Anne and I.
Well, I know we have a very cool booth being cooked up, and I can't reveal too much, but you definitely guys will have to come because I know it's going to be a very cool, highly attended conference, and we have some special stuff, some cool giveaways, and merch, and experiential experiences. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag per se, but I hope to see you guys there, and I hope to see you at our Wearable booth. We're super excited about this conference every year and excited to be one of the participators.
Awesome. Yeah. Lynn, please.
Yeah, I'll jump in as well. You'll see both Anna and I will be so excited to say hello. I was at NFC last year and it was super fun. I remember what stuck with me was the funeral. There was a very fun funeral at was it the Meme Coin or the Meme Summit?
Yeah, it was it's like a Bitcoin company called Size Control. They've been doing this happening. That was the Fayette funeral. Actually, they came, yeah, with something pretty surprising, a big funeral ceremony, and someone was crying with actors screaming like, yeah, someone is dead, someone is dead. Actually, some people have been freaking out, and the police came, for the story. Yeah, because
It's a scary thing to say in a crowd, for sure.
yeah.
I was there too, and it did get a crowd. And it was very well done. Whoever the actors were did a great job.
Yeah. So no, yeah, yeah. We like this kind of spirit, these kind of things, and I know that Rarible also, yeah, Lucas on the artist team on the art side is working on the super interactive immersive shows actually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, can't wait to see what you guys are cooking.
Yeah, for sure. We also have a residency open call happening for the show. So I can maybe drop the link if I figure out how to reply to the comments here. But Lucas and the team is working on a very awesome media residency. We'll have 4 digital artists create interactive art installations during NFC Summit. So we're super excited for this one. Yes, you can see the open call here. So if anyone's interested, please apply. We are super excited to host 4 awesome artists to create digital, fun, interactive exhibits during the conference.
Yes, actually, you have a detailed information from the rarible.com homepage, and you can see all the information and the way to apply to be part of the residency and of the open call. I think the program, yeah, I had the chance to chat, with the people, managing this program, and it's a huge opportunity, I believe. And so the online residency will start from May 19 to June 1st to be exhibited in Lisbon. And so, yeah, basically to work with the curators, Vandalo Rins, and some other artists like Max Pretend and the artist SR Cirque, basically. Cirque. So, yeah, basically you can just fill the form directly from the rarible.com homepage. You have the information, and you can fill the form, to be part of the residency, basically. Yes, Lynn, please.
And we're super excited for NFC. Yeah, personally, I love Lisbon. I think if anyone hasn't visited Lisbon, this is also a great opportunity. One, to explore an awesome city, to meet a lot of fun DJs, and meet a lot of awesome builders in the space. I think what I loved about NFC is sometimes you go to conferences and everyone is usually at side events and the conference is empty. But that's not the case with NFC. I'd say you find the community, the builders, the creators, the artists in the conference, and it's a very nice, and thanks John for doing that. I think it was a very nice experience where I was running into all my friends in the conference and I loved it. Yeah.
No, yeah, thank you, Lynn. And this is really try to do it better also this year. I really wanted, I really wanted to thank you. I don't know if you need to say one last word, Anna, before we leave. But for me, I'm super excited about everything you've been cooking up.
Well, thanks for this opportunity, and of course we love working with you, John, and we're really excited to show what we've been working on. I mean, from B2C, working directly with artists and trading Rarible.fun, but also, in general, the power of our community and the power to launch new chains and projects, the power behind the community to launch them, in terms of gaining some liquidity when going to market, and also the power of our infrastructure to be able to do a great job in housing these NFTs for, a white label marketplace for each of these chains, I think is, quite significant. And it's upwards and onwards from here. NFTs are the future. They're the future of all commerce. And we're going to be there for it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. It's been a big pleasure to have you, Anna, and you, Lynn, also. Thank you for waking up so early, because, just as a reminder, we started at 8 a.m. Lisbon time. So, for people in France who are following us every day, 9 a.m. is already early. And a lot of people are telling me, oh, John, why are you doing it every morning at 9 a.m.? I cannot hear, I'm still sleeping. And so 8 a.m., you can imagine how early it is. So yeah, no, thank you very much for being with us. And so yeah, I would say see you in Lisbon, see you in Dubai before, if you're going there. Have a great day. Enjoy NFTs and good morning.
Happy. Good morning. Really happy.